Just want to say good morning, happy Friday. It is the fifth day of the first week of the trading year, and I got to tell you, man. I mean, it's been a hell of a week. I mean, I've it's not we're not even done with the week, and I've already pretty much done half a month of work in terms of profits that I need for the month already in the first 4 days of the month, and it's just really a blessing, really incredible. And today, like Taj and I were just commenting, the theme of today, EVs, just anything related to electric vehicles, man, it is popping, just going nuts. I mean, we just have to bring it up. I know, Tesla. But Tesla is gapping up, man, like 40 points. So you can't ignore it. You can't ignore it. This thing wants to go to $1,000 again. And Elon Musk is now, I think, declared the richest man in the world because of the stock price. So let's just keep helping him out. Let's just keep pumping it, bro. So let's just widen that spread between him and Jeff Bezos, you know? So, in all seriousness, though, it's gapping up. It's flagging right here at 853. Hey guys, we know the drill. If it breaks pre-market high 857, go long. Just buy 860 calls, and this stock might just rip more to the upside. And if it breaks below 851, though, you can short it, or I would wait for a reversal pivot if you really are kind of on the bias side to go long. I wouldn't mind shorting Tesla. I just would really need to see that weakness. If it breaks 851, you could consider a short, but you'd have to put your stops at like 855. If the stock breaks below 842, you can for sure bet that there might be some downside on it just from profit taking, because Tesla has actually outperformed Bitcoin in the past year. I think Tesla's up. I think they were saying on CNBC like almost 1,000%, and Bitcoin's up 700 and change since the March lows. So pretty incredible, man. Had you only invested in Tesla and Bitcoin, I mean, you'd be a millionaire. So Tesla is definitely a name there that we're gonna keep on watch. I really like Micron. Micron reported earnings yesterday. They did really well, gapped up, and what did you get this morning? A bunch of analysts came out and gave price target upgrades. So I'm looking at Deutsche Bank gave it 90, RBC Capital gave it 95, Mizuho gave it 92, Citibank, very strong analyst here, $113. So you get the point. Micron, I believe, has more upside to it, gapping up into all-time highs. Right now, if Micron breaks above 82.35, I'm gonna go long. I'm gonna put my stops at 81.75, which means I only have a 60-cent risk on potential upside to continuation into all-time highs. If it breaks below 81.75, I'll just leave it alone. But that's the idea that I've got with Micron here. Another name that I really like, Baidu. Baidu is gapping up. They've got, I think, some partnership into going into the EV names, you know, just like everybody else nowadays. So, so with that being said, this stock is in play. All-time highs on it, from what I saw, is 227.60, right? Kind of. So if we break above that area, I mean, definitely go long Baidu. Baidu even got a price target upgrade from Mizuho at 250. So I like Baidu a lot. This is going to be one of my A-list stocks for today. It is an expensive stock, but if you can get your hands on shares or on call options, I think you'll get paid really well on Baidu here. Another name that I like is Apple. Apple is gapping up about 2 points. So I like Apple. I think, Taj, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they made an announcement of getting involved with like Hyundai for like EVs or whatever. What was the news on Apple? Did you see that?
Yeah. Apple in talks with Hyundai about car ambitions. Automaker says.
Gotcha. There you go. So I just think Apple's gapping up, you know, to the similar theme that all these other names are gapping up, especially in the EV world. So with what I see on the charts here, for me personally, if Apple rips above 132.54, which is pretty close to it, definitely go long on it. Put your stops at 132.23 or 132.20. You're talking about a 34-cent risk on Apple for potential move to break out of pre-market highs. If it breaks out of pre-market highs, you're already above a 1-to-1 ratio, and then you can ride this sucker up. So I like Apple a lot. That's going to be one of my A-list stocks. Another name that's going to be on my A-list is NIO. NIO, I think where it's sitting at the moment is gapping up into all-time highs. I know a lot of people in our community are swinging NIO. I saw that some people are swinging NIO from $48. You're up almost 10 points. Congratulations on those profits. In my opinion, hold on to it. This thing is going to ride even higher. So if we can break out at 57.54, guess what, man? Buy just 58 calls, ride the sucker up. You can probably even swing it for continued upside, because look at the daily chart on this one. I mean, this is gapping up into all-time highs, and we're breaking out. So very, very nice price action on NIO. I like it a lot, and this is going to be in play. This is another one that's going to be on my A-list for today. Another A-list stock, a stock that I traded yesterday, is Plug. So Plug, I traded yesterday when it was at the $47 range, and look at it now. The CEO of Plug was on CNBC with Jim Cramer last night, and you know how Jim Cramer is. When he really likes a name, he pumps the shit out of it. This is like a Jim Cramer pump. So I think a lot of traders, a lot of investors are getting in on this, especially with the news from yesterday, of course, that they've got a multi-billion-dollar investment from a South Korean company. So this is continuation to the upside. Pull up a daily chart. You can see that breakout of 37.44 or 45, gapped up into the $44 range, closed at 47.29, and then we have another gap up. I mean, these gaps are getting ridiculous, but the story behind it and the fundamentals behind it are really good. So the way I see it with Plug, if it breaks out at 51.95, go long. Probably put your stops at 51.30. You're risking about a 65-cent risk on the trade for a potential move to the upside. What I see on level 2 here with Plug, on the print, I'm seeing 53.60, and then it jumps straight to 64. So obviously this is with pre-market data, so we have to wait till the market opens to see, more data come into level 2. But I would not doubt if Plug hits $53 today. I think that's very realistic. Before 53.60, I see 52.50. I think that's very realistic as well. So needless to say, Plug is in play. And Plug is a stock that's going to be on my A list for today. So let me repeat my A list. It's going to be Micron, Apple, NIO, Plug, Baidu, Tesla. My B list is going to be SRPT. I won't go over it in details because I want to give Tosh his time to go over his A list. But SRPT, BLNK, Peloton, FCEL, and Roku. That's my B list. All right. So if you are interested in my B list, take a look at the charts, mark up support and resistance zones. I'm not going to go over it because I want to give Taj his time to go over his list as well. So Taj, let me pass it on to you, brother.
Hey man, so my A list is pretty much identical to what you have going on. NIO, I think you were spot on, especially with even people considering swing trading. What's really nice about NIO is that you are breaking out of this bit of range that it's been trading in over the past about month and a half. It's been trading in between about $57.20 down to $38. And now you're getting that gap up into all-time highs. And what's really nice is right now at the pre-market session, primarily over the past couple of hours, about an hour, you're getting the nicest consolidation you could ask for.
Yep.
Right before stock breaks out of its all-time high for the pre-market. Now, hopefully, it stays right here before the market opens, but knowing our luck, it probably won't. It's probably going to break out. But hopefully it can stay catch this opportunity as it breaks out above that pre-market high. And something that's pretty funny is we were actually talking about NEO during the trading review session yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was making comment that, hey, NEO may gap up into its all-time highs, knowing the way it behaves. And sure enough, here we have it. So what's nice about NEO is let's remember how NEO's performed prior as it hits its all-time highs, right? In the recent past. Every single time NEO hits an all-time high, we usually have not only a nice move, but a huge move to the upside. Every single time this seems to play out. Back here when it was 20-something dollars, when it was $30, when it was $40, right? NEO goes on runs as soon as it breaks out of its all-time highs. So it's not guaranteed that's going to happen.
Right.
However, looking at the odds, more oftentimes than not, it's going to break out. So let's look for that. Let's let that be one of our primary names that we're going to be trading, because this has been one of the most rewarding stocks of the year, especially for Stack. We day traded this thing every time it's broke out with an all-time high. So definitely keep an eye on NEO. Another name that I wanted to add to the A-list for me is MARA, M-A-R-A. This stock has been on an insane run lately. Just over, 2 months ago, this stock was $2. It is now $26.
Wow.
Gapping up. So you recently, a couple of days ago, had a breakout of $15. It then ran. It gapped up yesterday, had another insane run, and guess what? It's gapping up again into highs. So if you do want to play it to the long side, be careful. It's starting to get into that extremely overbought territory. So if I do play it to the long side, I'll maybe look to enter a long around $25, $80, $26. Take a quick profit, and I would actually be more inclined to look for a short sometime soon, because it is in extreme overbought territory. However, before I do short the stock, there needs to be a clear indicator of a short, right? Mm-hmm. There needs to be some reversal candles, a double top, right? Maybe the AMA crossing the 20. Some of the go-to plays that we look for when we're looking for reversal plays. So I'll be keeping an eye on MARA for that, because I think that could be a huge play, especially if we can catch the short on it. So that's also going to be on the list. Baidu as well. Alex mentioned it. They're getting into the EV industry as well. Baidu is having a pretty big gap up. It's gapping up $20. That's nearly 10% already, just off the mere fact of them getting into the EV. So that just goes to show how strong the EV sector is, right? Any stock that gets in the EV or just mentions EV in any headline gets an automatic 8 to 10% boost in their stock price. Like it's just kind of crazy how hot this industry is. But what I really like about Baidu is you're approaching that all-time high. From the technical perspective, you are bouncing off of the 8 MA. This would be the second bounce off of the 8 MA in this past rally that it's had. Just over early December, the stock was $152, broke out of the consolidation period it had, ripped up to $200, consolidated again, ripped up, had a pullback right to its 8 MA again, and now we are approaching that all-time high. We're currently about $1 away from that all-time high, 227.58. So definitely keep an eye on this. We can play it long right here at 227.45. It's like right at its high.
Right.
We can play it long there around like 227. If there are stops, maybe even at 226. Keep it tight.
Yep.
Okay. And let's see if we can break out the all-time highs and capture that quick momentum. What I really like about it, very similar to NEO. It's breaking out of a range, right? It's breaking out of almost like a flag formation. So anytime you get a nice fresh move into the all-time highs with this, usually the stock's going to have a run. Baidu has a track history of going on a run, right? When it breaks into all-time highs. So with these plays, we can be a little more on the greedy side as far as holding the position, especially with NEO, because NEO has a stronger track record of that. So if there is a day, I guess, that you want to be, greedy with your profits, today could be potentially the day with NEO. I will probably trade Neo that way, just being fully transparent with that. But that's just because the way Neo typically behaves. The last name that I want to keep an eye on is just the overall market, the S&P. We're gapping up again into all-time highs on the S&P. Yesterday's closing price, or right near the closing price, 379.90 was the all-time high. We actually gapped up to 381, and we're currently trading at about 380 and a half. So if you want some exposure to the market, remember this is a breakout of a long consolidation period, as the S&P was struggling to break out above that 376 level. Now we have a clear break above it, and now we have continuation. So there's a chance that we could go on a multi-day run here. Now I know reports are coming out that the market is starting to get in overbought territory, and I agree. I think it is running a little hot. However, that does not mean that we can't play the short-term momentum, right? And that's what we want to do as day traders, right. And swing traders as well. Ride that short-term momentum, and then when that opportunity comes to short the market, we can take advantage of that as well. So that's pretty much my list. So at the top, I have Neo, I have Mara, I also have Plug as well, Micron. Alex has already gone over those, so I won't go into too much detail about it. And then lastly, I'm going to be watching XPEV. That's going to be on my B list. I'm also going to have Apple on my B list and S&P on my B list. So, story of the day, as it's been all week, I'll repeat it again, EVs.
Yeah.
EVs, if you're struggling, like which stocks to pick, if it has, if it's dealing with electric vehicles, play that stock.
Yeah, that's a safe bet. Yeah, man. I mean, look, at the end of the day, when it comes to day trading, we want that easy money. Don't be struggling out there trying to make a bet where the momentum and where the herd isn't at. That one of the easiest things about day trading is that as long as you are trading with stocks where other day traders around the world are trading, I mean, you've beaten the battle at least like by 20%, right?
Yeah.
At least you're looking at the right area. You're looking at the right stocks, the right names. That's the first battle. The second battle, use technicals. Then you go into like your style of trading and how to position to scale in, etc., right? Risk management and all that. But that's why Taj and I, we do this pre-market analysis, because this is our huddle. This is our game plan. I've been up since like 5 and change in the morning, just looking at stocks and researching and seeing where the hottest movements are. And if you guys ever have any doubt, use the bot. You could do !pop. We have that bot here in our community. It can give you the top 10 names that are being heavily traded. And look, I didn't even look at this. And look, Tesla, Neo, Roku, Baidu, Plug, Apple, Mara. All of those names Taj and I just went over. And I think that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the top 10 stocks that are being heavily traded in pre-market. So right there, that's validation that we are guiding everyone at least to the hottest names. And I just looked at this list right now. This was, we don't even have to reference this until afterwards, right? But with that being said, guys, hopefully you guys get the point. I'm going to repeat what I mentioned yesterday. Make sure that when we're going through this pre-market analysis, you're marking your support and resistance zones on your own charts. If you want to follow our A list, perfect. If you kind of want to diversify a little bit and kind of look at different names, make sure you have those support and resistance zones, because if the move is happening and Taj and I are not looking at that exact same stock as you are, at least you know what is triggered, whether it's a long or whether it's a short, right? So, and I say that because I don't want you guys to miss the move, right? Sometimes Taj and I, by the time we call out a trade, we get into it maybe a little bit sooner than you guys do. And I don't want you guys to have to experience that, right? So in order to avoid that from happening, be prepared. Mark up your charts. And when you see what we're seeing, you get in it right there with us, or maybe even a little bit before us. Who knows? Sometimes there've been sometimes like Carlos, perfect example. Carlos, sometimes he'll get into plays like a couple minutes before I do, and he gets a better price than I do, and that's why he's a damn good trader. You know, so.
Yep.
But I'm sure that Carlos is doing his due diligence. He's marking up his charts. He's seeing what we're seeing, and boom, execution is key. So that's my encouragement to you guys, man. I just want everyone to be successful, to make money, and today's Friday. Let's just kill it. Let's have another 30-minute, 1-hour day, and go back to bed. That's what I'm talking about. So, for everyone on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. Smash that like button, like everyone says on YouTube. And follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Join our community for free. And we'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend.